Alrighty, man. So, what's up? What's up, everybody? Um,
Wait, is this a PG-13 show?
oh, fuck no, shit no,
All right,
fuck no.
cool.
Listen. This is our first ever episode, Nerdology podcast, gaming news coming at you. This is being brought to you by CL Smooth Gaming and IMS Productions. Me and I, me and IMS Productions partnered up. Long time coming. Long
Long
time
time.
coming. Uh, if you ever watch Hey Jai, then you know this dude. You know this guy, the man, the myth, the legend himself. That boy Jai, what's going on with you, man? What's going on with
What's
you?
popping, smooth? What's
What's
popping,
going
man?
on? Listen,
Uh,
man, we've been knowing each other for a long time. This is something that we've been
uh,
talking about for a long time. I'm just excited to finally get it going.
you,
Unfortunately, I do have to say we ran into some technical difficulties, so we couldn't do the live show that will be
what you're
coming.
getting is a playback, but normally it is going to be a live show. Um, it is going to be a live show, and then you're going to get the full playback of the live show.
Right.
Of course, it's going to be uploaded on CL Smooth's YouTube channel, and you're going to get an abbreviated version on the IMS Studios channel as well. We're gonna have you with clips and reels and all that good jazz that comes from it in case you do miss it. But tune in for the
Facts.
live show every Friday, 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
late
10
night.
p.m.
All your nerd news, your gaming,
Gaming
your
news,
film.
everything. And look,
Uh,
hey, and we might, hey, look, and stick around. If you stick around long enough, we will have special content for you as well. We'll also be doing gameplay specials. First one, hopefully, cross everybody's fingers crossed. Next Friday, Madden 25 comes out. That actually is what we're going to kick off the show with. We're going to deep dive into Madden. Now, listen, we know we ain't breaking no news here. Everybody's seen the same videos than we didn't see, but we're just going to give you our thoughts. We're going to break them down, kind of go through what we think about this. Because look, Madden, let's be real, Madden in the last few years have been lacking. There's a lot of people who've had a lot of pushback to Madden. And
Absolutely.
so, and
Wasn't
obviously,
last year supposed to be a make or break year for
last year
Madden?
was supposed to be the make or break year, and it ended up just being the same shit, different year. You know what I'm
I don't know.
saying?
It was actually kind of solid. It was actually kind of solid. Well, for me, I don't mind it because Madden is the only sports game out right now that I feel like now I guess NCAA, but like that's the only sports game that I feel like I can play by myself. Like
Yeah.
before growing up, the only way you play with your friends they had to come over to your house.
Right.
So now I think that developers got lazy and okay, we're just gonna throw online. And then
Right.
so now we're gonna not care about the other game modes. But Madden is one of the few things where it's like me, I just hop in franchise mode, rebuild the Patriots, go build some other team, build a super team, whatever, right? Like I
Right.
have fun in that.
Right.
So I didn't really mind it, but I definitely get the complaints. It's definitely been lackluster since like honestly, last time Madden introduced something different was 2016. Really, I mean, I don't count the abilities. That shit's stupid.
I
But
think
like,
Madden's biggest issue in the last years, and like I said, we're gonna get into all this, but I think me personally, Madden's biggest issues in the previous years have been, like I said, they're just fucking lazy, man. Like the developers realize that every single year you're gonna have millions of people across the country, probably across the world, shell out that $70 every single year, no matter what, no matter how many times we say, "Man, I ain't buying that shit, man. We ain't gonna buy that shit." Yeah, you gonna buy that shit
you
every
go buy
goddamn
that
year.
shit.
You gonna buy that
You go
shit.
buy
And
that
if
shit.
you want
But
to, they know that you want to play as your favorite teams. They know that you want to play with your homies. They're gonna get your money regardless. So
they,
because
they,
of
they
that, what's
pivoted.
the incentive to try hard?
They aren't for games like Madden aren't for gaming fans. They're for football fans.
Right, right,
And I think
right.
I think honestly, it's the same thing. I think that's just sports games in general. It's just for the fan of the thing. It's not really so much in the gameplay anymore because they really don't have to have good gameplay anymore
No,
because you really just want to get it and then go to the mode where you play with your friends. And Madden
and
is an online franchise,
we
and
have
college football is Dynasty, and 2K is My Player Rec
It's my player rec. Yeah,
program on
we've
it.
entered
So
the era of gaming when it comes to particularly sports gaming. We've entered the era where it's more about community with your friends, like you said, and obviously graphics. That's a big thing because, like, sports games back in the day used to look like fucking cinder blocks running around, and now we have beautiful graphics to look at. But that, to me personally, also is where Madden kind of falls short, is because Madden's graphics look amazing. let's just call it what it is. One of the things that EA gets right every year is that the graphics look better every year. The players on the field look better. Everything looks better.
Every year, even the styles and animations, they get better.
They
They
get
look like
better,
it look like you're playing. It look like you're watching a football game.
but it's not enough anymore. It like you're not gonna just wow a person who the avid gamer. You're not gonna just wow them with graphics anymore. We've gone from that. Now you actually have to have substance. We're spending too much money on games for you to just look good. Like it has
I
to be
think you need
substance.
modes. I
You
think you
need more
need game mode
modes,
versatility,
more
and I think
immersiveness.
that's where I still don't think they got it, and we're about to play the trailer shortly. But I think what they're trying to do now, instead of adding different game modes, they're trying to go towards the gaming style. So because, and I want to give some credit to like esports to kind of, that being the big market, push feet to the fire. Now we're going to create a skill gap, right?
Right.
And I think that with Madden, it's becoming that way. In the 2K trailer, it was kind of looking that way. Like with these sports games, with these shooter games, things like that, it's becoming a bit of a skill gap rather
Right.
than, oh, here's this cool animation. Because now, like you said, we've gotten so much to the community aspect of it to where like, okay, people just gonna find one or two animations,
Right.
and then okay, we're just gonna abuse that the whole time, and
Oh,
then people
hold
gonna
on.
complain about that. So now there's a whole new thing. So let's get into this Madden deep dive for just a second.
So while we're watching the video, we're going to be going through it. We'll be pausing it frequently, giving our commentary, giving our thoughts. Madden has listed out a plethora of new features. Shout out to high school education there. A plethora of a plethora of new features that is said to give you a more immersive feel and more realistic feel to the game. Now, that to me, it's a bunch of bullshit because we hear that shit every year. Like that's just
But and this is okay, but here's my only hope for optimism with it. If you like college football 25, I feel like a lot of the stuff is the same from college football 25 and then some. So I think it was a good merger of two. So I think we're gonna get the best Madden that we've gotten in 10 years because now they got caught. Now people will legit not play it if it doesn't come out good early. People are legit not gonna play this game and be like, well, I got another football game to play. So
Well, look, good thing for EA is when it comes to Madden, the bar is in hell, so you can only go from up. Look, as you can know, as you all can probably guess, I have no love for EA. I have no love for Madden. I've been very disappointed in Madden, probably since the last great Madden was Madden 12. All right, so getting into the gameplay, I think the biggest feature, the biggest new feature that they're touting, that they're adding, is the boomstick feature, right?
System.
That's
Revolutionizing one-on-one tackling to give players ultimate control.
this boomstick feature. Apparently, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read out to you the official statement from EA, what they have said about it. And then in Madden 25, the team has introduced a new field sense animation branding system to deliver
hold on,
control.
see like that. Like hold on, bro. I'm sorry, good show. But look at that. Like this will make me mad. Like boom. And you know what's crazy?
That doesn't happen though.
That does happen because they have a clip, and I'm probably gonna find it in the video. Look up what Jabril Peppers did to Devontae Adams in the Patriots versus Raiders game last year. He did that exact same thing. Devontae Adams caught the pass and he popped them, and the ball flopped up in the air. But I would be so mad whenever this happens because if somebody can just do that by timing the hit stick, I would be pissed.
Listen, this is what Madden do. This is how they get you, America. This is how they get you.
You talking to America?
I'm talking to America. Let me preach to America real quick. This is how they get you. Madden, they did this with the Patrick Mahomes Superman throw. They see something happen once in real life. Something spectacular happens once in real life. And Madden goes, you know what? That's a great animation. Let's put that shit in the game. Let's put that in the game right there. That'll really wow them. All right. We saw them do this with that Mahomes Superman throw. That's a throw that Mahomes did in the Super Bowl that wasn't even fucking complete. Like he didn't even complete the throw. He didn't even make the throw was incomplete. The greatest incompletion of all time. Okay,
he got a lot of love in that Super Bowl for for losing. I ain't gonna lie.
He did that shit one time, and man said, "Yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there." So I don't care if the shit happens one time. What we're seeing now is that you're going to have animations that people could just abuse. If you get good at it, if you can do it, you can get that shit almost every time if you know how to do it. That like, and you're gonna have people out there playing the
But what I
game
think what they're
knowing how to do
saying
that
is
shit.
that it's a lot of factors that go into this. They're saying that's what they're saying. Your speed, your trajectory, your weight, your ratings, like all that stuff matters
Look, no doubt, no
into it.
doubt. So this is what they're saying. This is how they're describing it, right? They said that in Madden 23, 2 years ago, they introduced the field sense. We all got that. Okay. This year's Madden, they're taking the field sense system, what they've done with that, and they've accelerated it to introduce boom tech, which is new next generation innovative gameplay that has been 2 years in the making, apparently. With that comes physics based tackling and a reloaded hit stick. Basically, the hit stick now, what's different from the hit stick in the past, what's what the new thing is now, is that it's timing based. You can time it essentially. All right. It's meant to close some kind of skill gap. Uh, I'm curious to hear what you think about that because honestly, like I'm on the fence on it. Like to me, it's like that doesn't change the game for me. That you can now
It's the
time
same
hit
thing they
skill.
did in NCAA, man. It's gonna be the same thing, and I think the only reason why, um, I think the only reason why they like NCAA is because we haven't seen NCAA look. We ain't seen NCAA get lazy like Madden over the past 10 years. So they had the luxury of it not being unknown, but this is gonna be the same thing.
I I
It's gonna be exactly like NCAA. I can almost guarantee you it's gonna be the exact same game as NCAA, but people are gonna treat it as different because NCAA doesn't have anything to compare it to.
compare it to. I look. I kind of agree with that, except something that was brought to my attention a while back was that these are obviously two different development teams. They're gonna have like some things will carry over, sure, but
A lot of
Madden,
things are gonna carry over. You can look at the let me find some. I wish I had some of the gameplay ready. But if you watch some actual like gameplay videos, some of the catching animations are the same. Now they do have one bullshit thing that man put in catch that man put in here that I was like, all right, man, like that was this is gonna be annoying. They
oh
put
yeah,
in you can make one handed catches, you can trigger one handed
yeah.
catches.
So I was actually gonna get into that right after we talked about this boom tech thing. But just to recap, just to close off the boom tech thing, I think we both kind of gave our thoughts on that. But yeah, I mean, that's just not enough for me. Like, I get it. I will say I'm on the fence. I'm not totally against it. Maybe it could be a good thing because you're trying to create more of a skill gap, especially for better defensive players. So that could be something that's cool. That's just something I'm gonna have to get my feel on. We're gonna have to just play that, get that. You mentioned the catching. We're seeing that right now. Yeah, yeah. This is an L, Madden. This is an
That's
L.
a L.
This is a
That's a
straight up
L.
L.
I'm saying it right now. If you can trigger one handed catches, that's all like people are gonna do, especially like
Two things are gonna
once
come
they
out of it.
have good wide receivers. Like
They're gonna this
anybody that's gonna play with the Dolphins or the
the
Vikings or
Vikings. Hell, you're gonna have people probably playing as like shit quarterbacks, but as long as you got an elite receiver, maybe that you know what I'm saying. There's two things that I feel like that are gonna come out of this, and none of them are good. A, either you're gonna have somebody who just gets real good at that and abuses the shit out of it, right?
yeah,
And then B, you're going to have it to where you try it and something fucking happens. Now you next thing you know, the ball's in the air going the other way. It's gonna screw people over, or people are gonna cheese it. Like those are the only two outcomes I see out of it. There's nothing else realistic about that. Because if you look at the real NFL, because that's what we're trying to compare Madden to. At the end of the day, it is a football simulation game.
and I
Why
think
it needs to be comparable. How many one-handed catches do you see in the NFL in a given year?
I think that here's the thing. I don't mind it because even though we say that it's a simulation game, they're gonna cater to an arcade audience. They're catering, like I said, they're catering to a skill gap. If it was just purely simulation, they're catering for head versus head, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how they're crazy. Like 1v1s, they're catering towards online play, the esports, the MUT players and stuff like that. the
That's
streamers who go and
you're
play
right.
other people. So the realism is for people like you and me who are like, oh, let's take our favorite team and build a franchise because both of our favorite teams are good right now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's what the realism is for. But whenever you play other people, you're gonna want animations and stuff like that because that, like you said, it is a skill gap. Like,
Yeah.
okay, the defensive switch stick, which I think that's something that they got from NCAA, which
That
I
is
think is going to be
1,000%
great because if you play Madden before, all somebody got to do is hit a corner route
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be open every time. If
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter how fast your receiver is, you can take a 60 something overall receiver with like 92 speed and it could be Jalen Ramsey. If they hit a corner route, it's curtains.
Right. Right. That to me, I'm like, if you're trying to tell me, if EA is trying to tell me that they are trying to widen the skill gap, yeah, that'll be right, widen the skill gap a little bit. If you're trying to tell me that, I'm for it because at the end of the day, I do think better players should be rewarded, worse players should not. That is a thing that's true for all video games. So
Absolutely.
I'm down for that. Like that's fine with me, but it's how you implement it, right? It's like if you're just trying to say, okay, the only thing we're going to do to implement and try to widen the skill gap is to, you know, gimmicky gimmicky concepts like, oh, now you get to time your hit sticks. Oh, well, now you get to trigger one-handed animations whenever you want, and if you get it, you get like that. To me, feels very like, I'm gonna tell you, it kind of feels like they kind of took that from 2K a little bit, because like in 2K you have like you could trigger the dunk animations with the
But that's what it is.
you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, what was something that we could take from 2K, bring it over to Madden, and maybe give it like a little spin, and then brand it as new. That's what it kind of feels like, and it's
But
just
2K is
gimmicky.
the most popular 2K is the most popular sports franchise game right now. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And you obviously, like you said, they will take things over. How many things, that's up for debate. That's how I guess we'd have to get our hands on the game and feel that, but they will copy some things over from NCAA. In that case, now you're trying to play towards, okay, we just got this new audience of people, this new clientele of people who are really loving this game. What can we do to keep their business on the Madden side? Because obviously the same crowd that loves NCAA is not the same crowd that loves Madden. Even back in the old days when NCAA was established, people played that way more than Madden. Like, let's not get it twisted. That was far more popular than Madden.
I wouldn't say that. It was a far more popular than Madden. I think it had years where it was more popular. But like the thing is that made it cool is that they kind of went together. Because it's like you have your road to glory
And you
and
can
then you
transfer.
import your player into Madden. And I think it was the only separation because it was a lot of symbiotic customer base, but the only separation really came in whenever do you just like college football more? That was like that thing.
See, the only reason why I guess I thought, like, in my head, the game was the when you look at the landscape of EA football games, NCAA was always had a bigger fan base to me, because I've we've all been to the homie's house back in the day, and they don't want to play Madden at all. They want, because I guess NCAA always had a faster feel, so you always had the people who,
It was always more arcadey.
it was more
It was
arcadey.
more arcadey.
But look, it wasn't arcadey in a bad way though. It wasn't arcadey in the sense of, like, it was still difficult. It was still a game that you had to have some skill with.
It had a skill gap, and I think that's what Madden is doing because Madden was the stimulation. I don't care how good you were in Madden. If you had the Cleveland Browns, you weren't about to beat the Patriots unless you was that much better than your opponent. But
Yeah.
you had to have, because it was a simulation, it kind of you had to have a decent team to do it. In NCAA, you could pick up any school. You could pick up any school, and it's just how good you are on the sticks.
Yeah, but that sells with people. That resonates with a lot
That
of people.
does, and I think people have more of a, especially in our era, people have more of a loyalty to whenever it comes to team colleges. Colleges is pretty much the only thing where that's going to be brand loyalty first instead of player loyalty.
Oh yeah,
Nobody's gonna like, and that might be changing now just because of like certain types of colleges. But it's like, if you like LSU, you like LSU. You don't like LSU because you like Joe Burrow. You don't like LSU because you like Justin Jefferson, right?
Or like either that
Or
or
like
either that.
who's in college right now? Like some people are pretending to like Colorado because Deion Sanders coach there. But I mean, like outside of that, but like nobody's like, oh, I'm a Georgia fan because Carson Beck is there. Whenever Carson Beck leave, that Georgia fan is still gonna be a Georgia fan.
Georgia fan, yeah. By the way,
The Alabama fan is still an Alabama fan, regardless of what they say about Bill Rowe.
Speaking of Colorado, real quick, are you one of the people who says Colorado's officially an HBCU now?
Hell no. As a proud HBCU alum, that shit is so disrespectful. No,
Bro,
it's not
that
HBCU.
was crazy.
Boulder, Colorado has like a 6% black population. The University of Colorado has like a 3% black student population. Hell no, that's not an HBCU. Just because rappers want to go, glaze Deion Sanders. And don't get me wrong, Shedeur Sanders is the best QB in the country. That's just a fact.
I can agree with that. Yeah, he is.
Deion Sanders is a hell of a football coach. Travis Hunter is probably the best or second best player in the country. But no, Colorado's not an HBCU.
That was so funny when that whole thing came out. People were trying to say, yeah, we claiming Colorado as an HB. It was weird. But
nobody from HBCU said that. I'll tell you that.
No one from HBCU.
Nobody from HBCU that said that.
That was just yeah. Going back to Madden though, man. So yeah, look, next Friday we're trying to bring that gameplay out to y'all because, man, like every year there's a lot of hype that gets built around August, especially because the real NFL season is literally preseason's already underway. Like we are in the thick of it, and I'm excited. But this is the thing that I want to see. I'm gonna just give you my expectations for this new Madden, and if they can deliver on just half of these things, I'll be perfectly happy. One, obviously, I will say, I don't want to shit on them too much. I am happy that they have introduced different broadcast teams. That's something else that they did steal from NCAA. They absolutely
stole that from 2K. 2K did that.
Yeah, 2K's been doing this.
2K is the gold standard. 2K is the gold standard for sports games.
Gold standard. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. 2K's been done this, been there, done that. The fact that we don't have to listen to Charles Davis and Brandon Gaudin anymore, where we're not forced to, they're still there actually, but where we're not forced to constantly listen to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis anymore, I think is a total win for Madden. It was cool when the first year that they had them, that was fine. That was cool. But then you have 10 straight years of just them saying the same shit.
I don't know if they got some old John. With AI now, I know we can get some John Madden coverage or something just for old time's sake. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, John Madden, Al Michaels, man, those are the days, dude.
I'm not gonna lie though. They almost would have won. They would have been perfect if they would have got Tony Romo.
People are starting to turn on him though.
Because he's starting to be wrong.
Yeah.
Remember, his first 2 years, he was like, sorry. Now he's starting to be wrong.
People are starting to turn on him, bro. But look, I'm a big fan of Mike Tirico, right? Dude is a great commentator. He brings the energy.
Fan of Greg Olsen.
I'm a big fan of Greg Olsen too. So them two on the team, perfect.
That's perfect. That's probably gonna be the one that I use the most.
Me too. And obviously, when I'm assuming that in franchise mode, you're not going to be able to choose your broadcast team. It's going to be based on the magnitude of the game. I'm fine with that. As long as I'm just not listening to Brandon Gaudin and Charles. Yeah, the same voices over and over. Because that's one thing I say about NCAA is I think NCAA is got it perfect, right? You have your broadcast team, you have your big game team. And the big game team comes around for special games. So it makes that game feel more special. I like that. With the NFL, I think it should work a little differently, though, because it's not just a big game team. In the NFL, you have 3 primetime games: Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, right? So if you're playing franchise, what I want to see is if you have any of those game slots, that should be a big game broadcast. That should be a primetime broadcast. If you're playing at noon, that's a different story.
Yeah, and I think that you should be able to kind of pick, at least have an option to pick your big games. You know what I'm saying?
Or flex them.
If I'm playing franchise mode and my team is playing on Sunday night, I want Greg Olsen for that one at least. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I'll be cool. Or just make it random. Just make all of them random. Either way, switch it up. For me, what I would want to see out of franchise mode, and they kind of allude to some of it in the franchise deep dive. Just make me feel more like a GM.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love that
Put more
aspect of it
control in my hands.
because I feel like the gameplay is. I'm content with the gameplay. It is what it is, especially whenever I play Dolo. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's talented enough. That's one thing I will say that Madden has over 2K and well, pretty much any other sports game. You can't just dominate the computer on Madden as
No.
easily as you can do every other sports game.
Right.
And
Especially NCAA moreover than anything. Might be NCAA got the hardest CPU we've ever seen.
yeah, yeah. NCAA is, since it's come back, but in terms of like ones that like been there, like even if you play like NHL, you get a good enough team. And like once you know how to play the game, you can pretty much go to the well every so often. And Madden, you might have like a cool little you play franchise by yourself, have like a cool little 3-game stretch, and then boom, you get blown out by the Cardinals, and you like nothing's working. Your players don't catch. Stephon Diggs getting locked up by like Marco Wilson. Like it's
Shout out to Marco Wilson, LSU legend Marco Wilson. We appreciate the shoot throw. But yeah, no, like you're absolutely right in that sense. Like for me, if I'm playing franchise, I want the control in my hands. You're a GM.
I want one of my players to like have beef. Like if I don't get them a contract extension, like okay, like the Patriots right now. If I pick a franchise with the Patriots, and my guy sits on last year of a deal, I want them to like go into the season, have me like a little scenario or like a little GM challenge. Hey, what you gonna do with Judon? Right? Are you gonna trade him or you gonna do this? And I want this something to be popping up every week. And I was like, oh, okay, well, he's gonna hold out. So for like the first 2 weeks of the season, I can't have him on my depth chart or something. Like, I don't know, like bring something like that. That'll be lit.
Another one of the big things that they really have been pushing hard with this new Madden is that they did revamp franchise mode. That's what, and look, I saw videos on it. It looks clean. I will say this could be if they get this right, this could be a massive W for Madden. Like this could take Madden to a new stratosphere where I think it could be better than NCAA. Because look, in NCAA Dynasty mode, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a slight disappointment for me because we had it so hyped. But there's a lot of things in Dynasty mode you can't do. There's a lot of things in Dynasty mode that doesn't feel immersive. Really, the only thing that you have in Dynasty mode with NCAA is you play your game and you recruit. That's it. There's no player storylines. There's no players getting suspended because they, drove a Hellcat into a school. Like,
and that goes back into like my gripe, like with old game modes, because like I remember in the old NCAA's, for one, even in like whenever you would like make your player, you could pick any position. You'll start from high school. Yep. You had the little messages and stuff like that. Like they kind of do that in Road to Glory, but like or in Dynasty mode, hey coach, you got to do this, this, and this. Hey, you got this scenario. Hey, let's put an emphasis on the band and stuff like that. Like I think games overall just got a little lazy.
Because at the end of the day, we have to keep in context on what these games are meant to do. Like a lot of these games, especially like for example, Madden or college football, like the the feelings that we get when we watch an NFL game on Sundays, we want to be able to recreate that same feeling or get close enough to it via the video game. Like that's the point, right? That's why things like presentation matters. Things like immersiveness matters. Right. You have to take that to, like, I think NCAA had a lot of wins, like the presentation, by far the best we've ever seen. Like this was the fact that they got every unique school tradition fully, in the game and accurate, and it looks good. It's pleasant to watch. You don't want to skip anything because the game looks great. I think it lacks immersiveness when you're out of gameplay. I want to see in Dynasty, like you said, like I want to see in Dynasty mode, scenarios with your players. I want to see, let them throw a wrench in there, like, oh, guy gets suspended 1 week. It's a big national, it's a college football playoff game. Guy gets suspended. I want to see that. One thing I will say, Madden might have introduced that. So apparently in Madden, they will have dynamic storylines in team meeting rooms, coach's office, press conferences, and practice sidelines.
I actually got the trailer up too.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and play it. So this will like, it's said to have like to amplify player personalities. You will have to manage as a coach, manage those player personalities. I think that's pretty cool. That's something that like that could really change everything. That could add a new dynamic to the way we play franchise, because it's not just anymore, especially when you have a franchise with all your buddies. Imagine this, right? Imagine the scenario: you're playing franchise, you got all your friends, it's you and about 10 friends deep, and y'all are playing franchise, and then all of a sudden a guy holds out.
And a number of refresh presentation
That would be
elements,
sick.
No, better yet, not even a guy holds out. Your best player holds out right before you play your homie that you got your biggest rivalry against. Like me and Jai,
You're
man,
getting cooked in the group chat.
bro, you're getting cooked in the group chat. That makes everything so much more fun. I like how the presentation of adding draft picks, I get to see my draft pick as I pick. That's
Walk
something
on the
I think
stage with Goodell. You get to see the board.
you
You
bring
know,
a
because the
new,
draft was always lackluster.
so lackluster. It was so boring.
Yeah, I'm looking right now the different sorting between, like, you know, okay, things that you look for in your team. Like I really want one for make a Madden for the football nerds, not just for the Madden heads. And I like that's kind of, I was a little disappointed that NCAA wasn't that exactly. Don't get me wrong, it's NCAA was more for the game heads, which I'm cool with, but I do wish it was a little bit more for the football heads. Madden, you've been out too long, so you have to be for the football heads, man. You got to be for NFL heads, the people that, you know, the armchair GMs, the Monday morning quarterbacks, the people who think that they can go up there with Stephen A. and,
right,
you know,
because I
talk
need
about
more.
the NFL.
I need more stimulation than to just play the game. I want to have, there needs to be a chess match, because at the end of the day, what franchise is about, particularly when you have a franchise league, is
Right.
who's the better GM. If it was just about who's the better Madden player, then everybody could just play a bunch of head-to-heads together and that'd be it. What's the point of being in a league? Well, the league is to see, can I build a team? My team might not be that good right now, but maybe I can build a team and manage a team to be successful in the future. And that to me adds like the game outside of the game. That's what
Speaking
I
of
want.
team builder, they're actually bringing that mode back. In a sense, it's a
big,
little different,
big
but
win.
create
Big
your
win.
own team. That is a big W.
Big win.
We have wanted that for a long time. And that's just something, like, that's what I'm saying. All these games need to take note. Sports games, non-sports games, bring back the game modes. Don't just cater to an online audience. Don't just
cater to the pay.
to
Don't cater to the pay and play players.
don't cater to the pay to play players. Don't just cater to the streamers and the YouTubers. Cater to the people who just want to plug in the game and have fun, because that's the whole point of, that's how people fell in love with the game.
Yep.
We didn't just get a game just to be like, all right, I'm gonna play with my friends. It's kind of like that's kind of like why sports games fell off, because it's kind of like, okay, if I'm not playing with my mans, I'm not about to play it.
Yeah, because there's no point. There's no
Right.
point. You're just playing against either the CPU, and that's already lackluster enough. So there's just no incentive for you to actually immerse yourself. Like, that's the thing, that the word that I keep bringing up is immersiveness. Like, you want to immerse yourself into this game. You want to be able to feel as close to what it's like to be in an NFL locker room as possible. What is the closest? What is the closest you can bring me? Like, we're relying on EA to give us that feeling as close as possible, and based on what I've seen, for $70, right? For $70, based on what I've seen, if I had to give this Madden an early grade before playing it, I'm saying a B, which is much higher than previous years.
Yeah,
B. That is, it could get higher. Obviously, my grade. We could, in a few weeks, we can reassess. Maybe we could do a reassessment next week, and see how after we playing it, maybe see how it feels.
Right. Early gameplay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It needs to feel fast, man. And when I say, there's a difference between fast paced and fast in play, right?
Yeah.
College football. If you watch college football, anybody who watches both college and the NFL, they know the college game is a faster pace, right? But the NFL game might be slower in pace because you have more scripted plays, you have more teams taking their time with things and building their game plan, but the athletes are just better. So it's faster in the game, you know? The window that you have to throw the ball is a lot shorter in the NFL than it is in college. The opportunities you get for wide open plays are not as much in the NFL as you get in college. That's the kind of things that I want to see. The difference is that I want to feel a visible like gap between Madden and NCAA. It needs to be significantly more catered to the NFL game than in college. And I think
the NFL
college
game, and more so the NFL fan. Like I want it to be NFL stuff. Like with college, they hit it out the park with they focus a lot on the team, the team playbooks and things like that. Like Navy got all those crazy runs in the playbook.
The gimmicks, the trick
you got
plays.
the gimmicks, right? The chants, and things like
pageantry.
That plays into that. In the NFL, is going to be a lot more on the players. It's going to be a lot more on the NFL style. It's going to be a lot more on how you manage a roster and things like that.
Right.
So
right. It's going to come down to. I think I would like to see, whereas like in the college game, it's a lot more, I think the college game should be it's catered to, like you said, the pageantry, all that kind of stuff. And also simply just my guys are better than your guys. I have better recruiting, so I have better players than you. Whereas in the NFL needs to be more of a cerebral game because every player in the NFL is good. So
I can scheme it,
And
granted, outside of like the 5-10 players, like, okay, if I got Tyreek Hill, I don't care how much you're scheming it. I'm gonna get some off the Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Make the play. Yeah. Make the special players still special. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need the 75 overall because I got a dummy play and I figured out how to hit the aggressive catch, the one-handed catch animation. I got a 75 overall tight end going for 300 yards.
See, I'm gonna tell you what the problem that I have with Madden focused too much on specific attributes. For example, man, we've been in Madden leagues for years, man. Like, we could get a 68 overall wide receiver with 97 speed and turn him into a 99 in 2 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how that used to be. And that was very annoying because all you did one thing with him. And everybody knew what you were going to do with him, but no one could really stop it because speed was by far one of the most important attributes in the entire game. I want to see, like, look, I don't give a damn if he got 99 speed. I don't give a damn if he got 200 speed. If he's ass, he's ass.
What's your route running?
He can't run routes.
What's your release?
What's your release?
He got 99 speed, but like you saw that video of Xavier where he can like manhandle.
Yeah, like that's what
I should be able to press Xavier. I should be able to go press 98 speed Xavier Worthy at the line and not have to worry about getting cooked every play.
Bro, I can't remember who said it. I don't remember who said it. I don't know if it was Jerry Rice that said it, but he was like, ain't no Hall of Famer ever ran a 4.2.
I think that was
that might have been Michael Irvin's crazy ass or Jerry Rice, one of them two. But that's true.
Shannon Sharp.
Maybe it was Shannon Sharp, one of them. But like that's true though. That's very true. Like
for now,
look, speed is a
Randy Moss. And he didn't run a 4.2, but he ran a 4.2.
He ran a 4.2.
If you knew he ran a 4.2.
He ran a 4.2.
Randy Moss and then Tyreek Hill definitely gone.
But Randy Moss wasn't just speed, man. Randy Moss had the whole package. Like that dude was, you know what I'm saying? Like
be a player.
You gotta be a
make being a total football player matter. Make your awareness matter. Make tackling matter.
Now look,
my actual tackle attribute.
I'm fine with now. I will say this. I'm fine with if you have a guy who maybe not be a high overall, but he has a specific attribute that you can utilize. He is fast. He can jump, or he has some specific attribute, and you scheme it to get him open. That's a whole different thing. That's coming from you. I put him in a specific
dude. It's not good, but I throw like a little wide receiver screen that he catch it and take off. Okay,
you scheme that.
Game planning.
That's game planning. That's different. I'm talking
he shouldn't cook Sauce Gardner because he got 99 speed.
You line him out wide, send him on a streak, and he's cooking Sauce Gardner. That's been a problem in Madden for years. Probably since, I would say, Madden 14-ish or 25, the old Madden 25. That has been a huge issue. So now we need to get back to all attributes have to equally matter, like balance out the player. And the better players will have attributes that work in combination with each other. Your route running, your release, your jumping, your catching, your speed, all that combines to make a complete player or a better player rather than just focus on one attribute specifically. So I'm pretty cool right now. I think that is something that has yet to be seen. We don't know if that's
I think it's going to be a better one than we've gotten in years, but do I think it's going to be a good one? That's yet to be seen. But
That has yet to be seen.
I think it's gonna be a better one than we got in years. Let's pivot from the sports games because we spent a lot of time on that. But you talked about a lot about immersion, and we're both big Star Wars fans, and we have an exciting new Star Wars game coming out. It's hopefully gonna hit that immersion.
Exciting is a strange word, man, because some people are not as excited about it. And listen, I get it why. Star Wars Outlaws is going to be the first truly open world Star Wars games that I feel like we've gotten since probably KOTOR, right? Knights of the Old Republic. And anybody who's a big Star Wars fan, they know Knights of the Old Republic is probably, in my opinion, the greatest Star Wars game ever made, and then nothing has ever come close since that. So it is going to be a very interesting thing. Ubisoft is making the game. They're developing the game. Everybody knows that they're probably best known for the Assassin's Creed franchise and the wonderful work that they've done with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed has been a wonderful game. You might not like all of them, but as a franchise, you can't deny it. They have been,
as a franchise,
it's been a great
phenomenal. Franchise. After Assassin's Creed 4, it's been in. But as a franchise, that's because they were churning them out too fast. I like any game that's been in long time development, and this game looks like it's been a while. Let's go ahead and run this trailer.
So when watching the trailer, some of the things that I'm looking for, I guess, as someone who really wants to see, like, I want to be in this world. That's the biggest thing now. Is I want to leave Earth and go to this
galaxy far, far away.
Right, where my surroundings no longer matters. Where I am fully in this world. I want to have storylines, side plots, side quests. I want to be able to do certain things that I can't do in any other game, right? That is unique to the Star Wars world. So, look, first thoughts when watching this. Graphics look amazing, right? It looks good. Everything looks fine.
Love seeing the droid representation
from childhood.
Now, here's my problem with it, though. This is something that I've watched a lot of creators say, and I can't say that I disagree with it. I fully agree with this. The Star Wars games that we've gotten in the past has kind of followed this really strange model where you have your main character that you play as, and they got some kind of animal or some kind of droid sidekick, right? And I'm getting kind of sick and tired of that model because
But that's Star Wars.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, man. Listen, Star Wars is so much more.
R2-D2, Chewbacca.
Listen, Star Wars is so much more than just
Jar Jar Binks.
Nah.
Always had every Star Wars has had a little sidekick.
That is every Star Wars film has had a little sidekick. Every Disney show has had a little sidekick. That's the thing.
That's the world. That's an establishment in the world.
No, Star Wars. No. Star Wars is so vast, bro. It is so vast. You have so many characters who are loners. Boba Fett, loner. He didn't have nobody. Right?
Okay, but you got to think of who's this for. Because at the end of these games are still trying to make money. So you still have to draw a casual connection.
It's not Star Wars. The casuals are going to buy it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you still have to have that. You know what I'm saying?
I promise you, if Star Wars, if the developers of this game, all right. And again, I'm not saying this is a negative. I'm just saying it's a bit of a tired model. If the
only thing I don't like about the little pit models is the little pit specific missions.
The whole point of them is meant to be cute. They're meant to be cute. You know, people who are not necessarily Star Wars fans, they might buy it because they love the cute animals or the cute droids. That's what that's for. But listen, you're gonna get Star Wars fans just from the name Star Wars. Like that is going to happen. So you have that whole community on lock. If you're trying to appeal to the casuals, man, all you need is a good story. A good story will do anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that this is a bad story. We don't know what the story for this game is going to be. But you want to look for the things that I'm looking for is good mechanics. I want to see how is shooting going to be like aim assist or not? Will it be how difficult will it be? How is the AI against the enemies? You know,
we're already seeing a choice model in the story mode. I love that in any story mode where the outcome, your decisions affect different outcomes.
And that looks badass. That looks badass.
I'm always a fan of that. One thing that I'm looking for in it, and this was a trend this has been a trend in single player games as of late. I don't want the biggest draw. of this being how difficult the game is.
Right.
What was that? Fallen Jedi.
That was Jedi Order fall and
It was just listen, I get it. The game is supposed to be hard and challenging. You're supposed to overcome it. Blah 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 blah. Man, I'm 26. I'm 26 and I work a full-time job. Sometimes I just want to hop on the plane. Like I ain't gonna. Sometimes I just want to hop on the plane. I don't want to play it and get mad. I'm trying to escape. You know what I'm saying?
I get you. Listen,
and it's like I have no problem with the game being hard, but that can't be the biggest draw. In Elden Ring, the biggest draw to Elden Ring was that it was so difficult.
Yeah.
Everybody died and couldn't beat it. That was the biggest draw to Elden Ring. And the story was actually good, but nobody ever talked about the story. Everybody just talked about this is so hard, or I beat this person X amount of times, and blah, 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 blah. But the story was actually good. I don't want the story or the gameplay dynamics to get lost in the fact of, damn, this shit's difficult. Watch me die on stream 20 for the 20th hour.
But you know also, is it not okay? But let me ask you this. Is it not rewarding to like, okay, so you've been grinding on this shit for hours, right? You know, busted ass, and then you die, but eventually you get it. Is that not rewarding? Like, does that not feel good?
It is, but it gotta make sense.
It's up to you where your loyalties lie.
It gotta make sense. If I do everything I have to do, like I shouldn't have to like scheme it. Where it's just kind of like, all right, shoot twice, hide behind this thing because the way that they coded the game, they can't walk past a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
When it comes to these type of games, something that maybe what a solution to that, what I always thought was, listen, I don't need to shoot an enemy 10 times to kill him. That's not like, I don't need to do that to kill him. If I shoot him once and it hits him in the head, motherfucker should die, right? He should, you know.
I want this to be about the adventure. Look at this world, bro. This world looks amazing.
It looks. I want it to be like to solve like that. I guess like to make it equally challenging, but at the same time not frustrating is like I said, I don't need to shoot an enemy 10 times to kill him. But what could make the mission more challenging is based on the amount of steps I got to go through, the amount of hoops I got to go through. If I'm going to, it don't matter if it's a one shot, one kill. If I'm going against 100 stormtroopers, that's just gonna be hard as shit. If I got to sneak past some heavily fortified military base, that's gonna be hard as shit. Versus if I'm just going like rob a group of Jawas, like that should be easier. So I think mission difficulty should be based purely on the circumstances of the mission.
It should be based on the adventure. The mission difficulty should be like the things that'll take to complete the mission, not that this dude is just hard to kill.
So this game, from what I've seen, has had mixed reviews. You have some people who are super excited about it. Obviously, there's some more creators who are not so excited about it. So I don't know enough about the game to give what's the criticism here. I don't necessarily know. I definitely see the fears though. I definitely see what people are worried about. They're worried about it being just, I guess like you're not really doing anything Star Warsy. It's more of just like a glorified D&D.
But you're in the Star Wars universe.
You're just in the Star Wars universe. You know, you're just going collect things. You're going find packages, deliver this shit.
There's
to somebody.
no real Star Wars lore into
There's no
it.
lore.
Like Fallen Jedi and Last Jedi Survivor. There was lore into it.
It was a canon
Force
story.
Unleashed. It was lore.
Yeah.
You know, Old Republic. It was lore. Battlefront. It was somewhat lore. You know what I'm saying? So it's all like
there's like that's the fear.
Star Wars lore.
Got to have the Star Wars lore, and I think that's the biggest fear that people are having. Is like if am I basically just doing GTA missions in Star Wars? Is that what you're gonna have me do? And if that's the case, I'll keep my money. You know what I'm saying?
That one Jabba the Hutt cameo isn't gonna do it for me. You know,
it's not enough to like. Okay, yeah, I see all the cool things. I see all the iconic characters. That's not gonna be enough. What I need to see is will my actions affect the story?
Yes,
because like in Jedi Survivor and in Fallen Jedi, you're playing the Cal Kestis was in Order 66. He survived Order 66. You are in that like
you are a product of something that happened in the Star Wars story, and your gameplay, your mission is going to affect. Okay, where do we go from here?
Right.
You are an integral piece of it. And
You want to feel that you want to be a part of the story rather than I'm just doing a bunch of fucking missions that are being collected. Yeah, that's boring. Nobody's gonna want to buy that. So I guess I get the fears, I get the concerns. I think what a lot of people listen, if you're on the fence about buying this game, I think what I would definitely what I would recommend is, man, do all the research you can, read about it as much as you can, and maybe don't buy it on launch. Maybe see if you have someone else who bought it. Try to see if you can play it first, get a feel for it. Wait till more gameplay footage come out, because there's a lot of gameplay footage that's very limited, and then make that determination. I think it's just way too early.
Just like
before the
somebody
game
gives
has
a
come out.
breakdown of the story, honestly.
And
Without going through like the full story, because that's what I've been waiting on.
Right.
I don't
Wait for
want to
that
see
to
like
come out.
somebody played the game for me, because that's how I messed up myself on the first God of War game. I got so into watching Chris Wu play it, so I was just like, oh fuck. But no, like just wait till, because by the time it's at launch, some creator would have already had it, and somebody's gonna leave a review of the story. And just watch a nice little summary of the story. And if it seems like something that you'd be down for, go for it.
When we were talking about it's so crazy how based on the different genres of games, your expectations just totally shift. So when we're talking about Madden, what we were talking about more is about gameplay. How does it feel, right? Physics, And when we're talking about this game, it's more emotional. Like, how does it make me feel? What is the story? What emotions does the story invoke? Like, will I be attached to these characters? Do I care about the main character or not? Do I care about the side characters that I'm gonna meet along the way? Those are the things that like really drive these type of games. So especially in Star Wars, where like every character has some significance. Like if you watch the movies, if you watch the shows, everything, every character has
a story. If you make a game off of source material,
you have
I
to
think that you owe it to the source material to make a good story, you owe it to the source material to do justice, to do the themes of it justice, the characters justice, to everything in Star Wars. Everything in Star Wars has an outcome. Everything affects something else. Now, granted, even though the payoff isn't always great, look at the last trilogy. You know what I'm saying? Everything still affects something else. Everything has something.
I don't shit on the last trilogy like a lot of people do. It's funny. I don't think the last trilogy was that bad.
It was just a disappointment. It was just a disappointment.
It could be better. It could have been better, but it wasn't that bad.
Okay, unpopular opinion. I'm a first trilogy guy. Not New Hope, but
the prequels.
The prequels.
Look, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot. Bro, the prequels have grown on a lot of people. And people used to hate it, but then as time, it aged like fine wine. Like it aged well. The prequels aged really well, and I think because once you put the whole story together, everything makes sense. Like now you're like, oh, okay. If the prequels are just its own 3 movies, but together it complements the whole thing.
Well, see, when I finally first actually watched Star Wars, I watched it through like a movie marathon, which is crazy. Yeah, shout out to Spike TV. Showing my age here, but it was like a whole Star Wars marathon on Spike TV. It was one of those summers I was just at my grandma's house and not doing nothing. Those summers as a kid before you had to like pay bills, just not doing anything, and they was just playing them all in numerical order. And I was like, oh, I've never seen Star Wars before. So whenever Anakin turned to Darth Vader, that shit hit me in real time. I was like, no. I was like, oh, the baby survived.
But you can see it coming, though.
I didn't see it coming because I've never seen it before.
No, I'm saying, but like, okay, when you're watching episode 1, you're watching episode 2, you seeing the signs that this dude is crazy.
I seen the signs, but I didn't know he was gonna be Darth Vader. I thought he was just like, because he was the chosen one.
No, look. I think what it was for me when I first saw it, like, I guess to me, I saw the signs. Like when I'm watching the first 2 episodes and I'm seeing dude, and they killed the sand people killed his mama, but then he goes fucking ballistic and just said, you know what, I'm gonna kill all.
That wasn't a sign to me.
That was a sign, bro.
It was the Count Dooku. Whenever how he killed Count Dooku.
That was also a sign. Yeah.
That was the biggest like red flag.
Bro, like, come on, man. Listen, this dude committed genocide. If you think about it. Like he like that. Look, the signs were there. I'm just saying the signs were there.
Man, you seen
but see,
Padme? Can you blame him?
he crashed out for
Can you blame him?
yeah. What you
I'm
doing?
not saying
Man?
I'll do it, but I
Yeah,
understand.
what you doing, man? What you
I
doing?
understand, man.
Look. Hey, based all what we're talking about with when it comes to that, these are the kind of conversations I want to have about this game. Essentially, like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, okay, look, if I'm with this character and he's showing signs of possibly being a dickhead in the future, I want that to be pointed out, and I want that to matter in the story. You know what I'm
Have
saying?
some kind of
Have
payoff,
some kind of payoff.
even if it's just like a side quest of just kind of like a character that looked kind of shady, and then boom, I got to do like a mission. Why I end up having to kill that character because he did some stuff. Something.
Oh, look, that's another thing too. So, have you ever played GTA 4?
Yeah,
Okay, you played the story?
that was the one with the Russian, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of the coolest things about GTA 4 that I thought was great, and a lot of games have implemented this, GTA 4 I thought was one of the best, was that you can make decisions in the game. You kill this person or you don't kill this person, you rob this person, you don't rob this person, and those decisions affect the ending of the game. Knights of the Old Republic was the same way. I want to see that. That'd be cool for me. I want to be able to like literally control the destiny of the game.
Yeah, they had a piece of that in the trailer. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to be able to
I'm
like
definitely-
if me and you play the story, my ending might be different than your ending.
Yeah,
and that'd be cool.
The best game I've seen do that was Infamous.
Yo,
They made it like it was almost two different games.
Shit,
The
yeah.
Infamous series. I think that was also Ubisoft. Oh, no, that was Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
But
That was that's when PlayStation exclusives were at its peak, bro.
yeah, one of these episodes we're gonna talk about how the next gen consoles have been a little lackluster with exclusives.
I think that's also with the that has been aiding into the fact that PS5's shelf life is kind of declining. Like if you think about it, like the PS3 had a long run,
Very.
and then the PS4 had a pretty good run, and now you're already getting word about that they're coming out with another generation of PlayStation, and we got the 5 just 4 years ago. So you're already having those rumors swirl. I think that's because the exclusives have been kind of bad,
That's because people aren't. That's just gaming as an industry. That's gonna go down into it's less creativity.
Right.
It's less creativity. And I think people should draw on more source material. And I think that's a good pivot to where we'll go for film.
Right.
But I honestly, we'll need a whole episode dedicated to that of just kind of like how a lot of games have just been boring. And we're just gonna be honest. A lot of people don't know how to make single player games anymore.
I
think that's been a big knock, or creative games rather. Like it's
the same thing in the film industry too. Same thing.
Yeah, you gotta have a gun or a ball.
So we're running out of time. We're trying to keep this to about an hour, but yeah, let's get with the TV and film updates real quick. Also, right quick before we move on to that fully, 2K comes out early September. That is going to be something we're probably going to touch on another episode. But yeah, TV and film updates, man. So look, you saw Deadpool. I have not seen Deadpool yet. I'm actually going to see it this weekend.
Okay.
But give us your thoughts. What you thought about it?
It was funny. It was I call it white boy humor. It's probably it's gonna have like a lot of gay jokes, a lot of dick jokes in there. But white boy humor. It was funny. Ryan Reynolds is hilarious. Hugh Jackman, just a great actor. Because we got to see a full scope Wolverine. He wasn't just usual angry. It was good. It was a buddy cop comedy.
Okay.
So that was there. Of course, you had like some of the payoff cameos. I'm sure you already know.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, but you see Blade's gonna be in there.
Wesley Snipes, Tax Evasion.
Electra. They got the Gambit cameos has been all over thing. I actually didn't like that.
Okay, I seen memes on that. Gambit does not look good to me.
It doesn't look good at all. It's Channing Tatum. When Channing Tatum isn't the main star and he's a co-star, he's so cringy to me.
Bro, also, isn't Gambit from New Orleans? Like, isn't the character? Yeah. So, like,
does the actual X-Men character is from New Orleans. Yeah.
Does he have an accent?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Channing Tatum, he put sauce on it, but that's the joke.
Okay.
He putting a lot of sauce on it.
Okay.
Because it was supposed to be a homage to the Fox Marvel verse before the MCU started.
Yeah.
And so that was supposed to be a payoff. And one of the after X-Men Origins Wolverine, they were supposed to have a Gambit movie, a Gambit solo movie.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of going to do that route. And Channing Tatum was one of the finalists for the movie, but Fox never got it off the ground. And then, so that's kind of it was kind of like a middle finger to Fox with that. Okay. But I think that if you were tired of the MCU multiverse stuff, this is kind of just saying that this is a big spoof on it, really. Yeah. There is a couple of scenes in there and a couple of tidbits that is like, okay, it's still gonna be connected to the main MCU, so don't think that it's out yet. Is out yet, but they're basically saying that we're tired of the multiverse stuff. It was just a cool movie to sit back and enjoy. It wasn't a movie where you gotta like, okay, so I gotta go watch Deadpool's 1 and 2, and I gotta go watch all the X-Men to know what's happening, and what Disney Plus show that I watch, which is like this phase of Marvel, that is refreshing because they was making it
so annoying. Yeah.
And then honestly, it was for characters that nobody cared about, to be honest with you. I'm sorry, nobody cared about Miss Marvel. I don't care.
None, zero.
I don't care about Miss Marvel. I like the Loki show. It was Loki show. It was cool. That was probably the only Disney Plus show that I like. I didn't care that much about Scarlet Witch, and that was such a clusterfuck that when
I didn't mind that one. I'm gonna tell you what I thought. Like for me, the thing that was like most disappointing was like Loki the Falcon Captain, like the
I didn't even watch that, bro. I didn't even watch that.
Look, go watch it. I'm not gonna say don't watch it. It's actually worth a watch. It's just come on, man.
I'm gonna watch it before the movie comes out.
Why they gotta make everything like we get it? We have eyes. We can see the dude is black. You ain't gotta tell us if he's black every episode. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but if you think about the time that they was probably filming it, bro.
2020.
It was in 2020 in the middle of civil unrest. Like and that was that was just a general thing with TV across the board. Any COVID season or anything around that time,
it was gonna be social.
It was gonna be a prominent. They were gonna milk it in the episode, and if you didn't do it tastefully, it was just like, all right, bro. So
right,
but so Deadpool, it's cool. It's worth the watch. I like it. I thought it was hilarious. Ryan Reynolds, man, he is funny. He has to be that funny in real life. Yeah, you can't act that funny.
Yeah.
He has to be that funny in real life. And so I like what he did with Deadpool. The only thing I didn't like, there wasn't enough X-Men for me. I'm a big X-Men fan, and I wanted to see more X-Men cameos. I wanted to see Ian McKellen's Magneto. You know, I wanted to see Scott Summers, because in the X-Men movies, it wasn't really X-Men. It was Wolverine movies.
Yeah,
until they did like the First Class and stuff like that.
Well, Hugh Jackman is such a star. Like he is,
and he's a great actor, and his take on Wolverine is amazing.
Go down in history, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like if you're an X-Men fan, you know that Wolverine
he's not the head guy. Yeah,
yeah. Like I wanted this, so hopefully the MCU does. I don't want to say more comic book accurate, but just kind of doing more justice, you know. Let's get more Gambit. Let's get a Rogue that's actually strong. Right. Not Jubilee. I hated Jubilee, but you know what I'm saying. Let's get more Nightcrawler. Let's get Professor
Beast.
X.
Let's put Beast in there, man.
Oh my God, I hated Beast. He was
Come on, man, bro.
He willingly stayed in jail,
bro. That dude was a genius, bro. He had the intellect. He was woke.
Let's get Magneto not just being evil. Let's get an actual complex Magneto, like X-Men 97. Did you see the?
Yes, love it.
The X-Men 97, that was perfect.
That spin on Magneto was such it was so like thought provoking. Like you really had to figure out, am I on this dude's side or am I not on this dude's side? And
because you're against
Magneto,
side, but at the same time, it's like you get it. And then for the humans to come out and do exactly what he said,
right,
man.
Let me get your thoughts real quick too, man. So they obviously another big thing that's going on in the Marvel world is Robert Downey Jr. is returning as Dr. Doom. And look, I had a lot of conversations with my coworkers about this. I was so disappointed because, it feels cheap, man. It feels like Marvel thinks we're fucking stupid. And
I love it for the MCU. I hate it for, again, I like if you like superhero shit, if you like the whole Marvel and DC shit, if you like superhero shit, you don't like it. And before the comic book nerds jumped on my ass, yes, I know they did it in the comic books before. Yes, I know Iron Man and Doctor Doom switch places before. Yeah. Clearly, this is not going to be that.
Well, no,
This
they might have to sell that though. That might be a thing that they got to sell, because if you're just saying, okay, we're just rebranding Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, that's not going to work. Nobody's going to care like that. That's not going to work.
Exactly, and that's my problem.
We see him as Tony Stark. He's already Tony Stark,
and he's Tony Stark in the verse, and that's my problem with it. So like, they're probably going to try to use him as a variant, which I think for the MCU is great, because you're going to wrap up this little chapter of, okay, because they're about to do a reboot. That's the whole thing. Phase 6 or 7, whatever this was, this multiverse phase has been their worst phase. So, and a lot of people's contracts is running out. Right. So they're about to do a reboot. So that's fine. And it's only fitting that you end it with the guy that started it, right?
I think that's it's more of a, it feels like a cash grab though. It feels like they're bringing out their big high roller, their big gun, right? They know that he's their most popular.
They have to do a cash grab
because they're trying to get that money back. You know,
they've been pushing out disappointing projects after disappointing projects, and honestly, conveniently for them, Jonathan Majors got in legal trouble. If not, if he didn't get in legal trouble, they was gonna have to take their medicine, which I don't think it would have been horrible, but because him as an actor was amazing.
Great.
But that storyline, like just the multiverse storyline, I'm kind of over it. But Dr. Doom in the comics and the shows, not them early 2004 Fantastic Four movies, but Dr. Doom in the comic and the shows, he's like Thanos on steroids. Like he is like a cerebral villain. And I wanted, whenever they said that, okay, because the MCU, the Avengers were like B-list, C-list, right, in the comic book world, because they didn't have the rights to the A-list, and they made them A-list. So whenever the MCU got access to the A-list people, I'm like, okay, I'm super hyped. Like, I love the Fantastic Four casting. Pedro Pascal is going to be a great Reed Richards.
Great,
he has such range.
And he's popular, so,
I'm excited to see who they get for the X-Men. Please get some right people for the X-Men. But you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay, well, I want to get a brand new Dr. Doom.
Brand new. Me too.
Give us a Cillian Murphy. Hell,
that's who I said. That's who I said.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are other actors that you could throw for Dr. Doom, and I don't mind it in the realm of what we already know from the MCU. You're probably going to bring Thor back. You're going to bring Tom Holland back. You're going to bring of course, what's my guy? Captain America. We just talked about him.
Chris Evans, yeah.
No, Black Captain America.
Fuck.
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie, yeah.
I'm Tupac. Hey, everybody, I'm Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you're gonna bring them back. You're gonna bring the familiar faces back, right? And look, for this, and so them going against somebody that looks like Tony Stark is gonna be a mental thing. Okay, cool. I'm all for that. But now you can't use Doom for years, if at all. Yeah. So whenever it's time to go into full-fledged what the Fantastic Four got going on, into full-fledged what the X-Men got going on, you could have done that entirely. You could have done Dr. Doom movies about his story. Because he has an interesting story. He's very similar to Magneto, war-torn.
You're kind of you're pigeonholing yourself by choosing RDJ. And look, going after what we said about Cillian Murphy, man, listen, there's a lot of times we've seen this throughout movie history where if an actor has done a big role, that momentum carries. So this man is coming fresh off of Oppenheimer, where he was wonderful.
Phenomenal film.
Phenomenal.
That was a movie. That was a film. That was cinema.
That was cinema. Like he was one. So he has the momentum wave of Oppenheimer. He would have been crashing dead into Dr. Doom, and that would have been wonderful. Like that
would have been perfect, because between Peaky Blinders and Oppenheimer, we knew he was a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
We're about to take him into a movie star.
Right. A blockbuster.
And they took that from him.
Yeah. And
because they took that from us. And even if it wasn't him, between Cillian Murphy and personally Henry Cavill, just because I think that he has the range. I want to see him do other stuff.
He has the
And
range.
he looks
has
like
the
a
range.
super villain.
He loves comic books. He would have taken the role seriously. I could see Henry Cavill. I think he, Superman. He was great at That was a wonderful Superman. I think his portrayal of Superman was pretty good.
His portrayal for Superman was pretty great. You want to know how great it was? The guy that they got to replace him looks like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah,
he just got a guy that looks like Henry Cavill. But nah, like yeah, it was. So, I think that was Marvel just saying, "Hey, we got to get this money back to close out this phase." And Doctor Doom was only going to be around for 2 movies. Yeah, that's what it said to me. You only need Doctor Doom for 2 movies.
Yeah, and that's what it felt like. As soon as they announced it, it just kind of like, even if you watch the whole presentation of how they even brought RDJ out, you could tell it was meant to bring this nostalgic feeling back to us. Oh, maybe if we get them to feel nostalgia, they'll just come to the movie theaters in droves and just, that's what it felt. It just felt like a cheap ploy to kind of get us back reeled in. So we'll be in tune. We'll be watching it, and we'll be bringing. Obviously, anything that happens in the Marvel world, we'll be bringing that to you on the Nerdology podcast. But
yeah, definitely.
But we're gonna wrap this up, man. This has been a ton of fun. First episode, obviously, like I said, it didn't go as planned as what we wanted. We were gonna try to bring a live show to y'all. We will be working on that very soon. So please, stay following us. Follow CL Smooth Gaming. Follow IMS Productions. Jai, tell them where they can find Hey Jai, man.
Hey Jai, every episodes will be on IMS Studios YouTube channel, along with clips of Nerdology, clips of JTS After Dark, all of our IMS partners. Follow us on Instagram at IMS Productions 2023. Man, this is going to be a very, very fun show, very fruitful partnership. So
yes, sir.
All my nerds out there,
we got something for everybody.
We did this for y'all, man.
Listen, whether it be you love sports games, you love story games, you love what kind of movies out there. Listen, we're going to talk about it all, man. We're going to try to hit everything. We're going to try to keep it about an hour an episode. This was the first one, so we might have spilled over a little bit. But look, man, keep growing with us, y'all. We're going to keep bringing this thing and make it bigger and bigger and bigger each week, man. So Fridays, 10 p.m., stick with us.
Fridays, 10 p.m., same place, same time. Not this place, but the other place. Other place at the right time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're gonna see it go out on our socials, and I'm gonna link those in the description. Gotta sign out.
Yeah. Oh, look, I didn't even think about that far. Shit, I don't know. Let me wait. Yeah, you put me on the fucking spot. Come on, hey, listen. All right, look. I'm gonna think of a sign out. It's gonna be the dopest sign out you ever heard, man.
Facts.
All right, but look, y'all. We're gonna keep it. Oh, see, I'm trying to turn too much. Cut the street. Let's go. Let's hit it.